Alright, what's going on everybody? This is Kraken, and today I'm super stoked to bring you guys another video about Guild Wars 2. This is going to be my first Krackens tidbits, and what I see, it's basically my general gaming discussion about what I see, trends in games, trends in the world, trends in popular pants. Not really. I'm just kidding. I'm going to keep this to games. I'm not going to talk about pants. Don't worry about it. But today we're going to talk about Guild Wars 2 just because I've been going over a lot about Guild Wars 2 and something that I can definitely see happening once the game goes live is that some people might love this game or they might hate this game. And I'm not sure. It might be a greater area in between that people either like it or dislike it than people that are kind of in the middle of thinking it's an alright game. I can play it every once in a while. I'm not too big into it. Either the people are going to go, this is a sick game, or people are going to go, this game sucks. Why do I see this happening? Is ArenaNet slacking on their job? No. Do I think that everyone's expectations might be a little bit too high for this game? Could be for some people. Some fanboys might be going, oh my god, Guild Wars 2 is going to be the greatest game ever alive. Okay, granted, I have done that a little bit, but I am trying to bring it back to reality and noticing that this is still a game and people are people and they can't make everything perfect. But I do think they're doing a lot of things right with Guild Wars 2. Besides that, okay, so why do I think people might either love this game or hate this game? Check out other old MMOs and basically every other MMO out there that is popular. You basically have a gear-based MMO right there. What is that, a gear-based MMO? What? Kraken? Gilbert? Gear-based? Like, peanut butter-based? I mean, what is this, a cake? No, this is not a cake. This is talking about gear-based MMOs. What that really means is, look at a game, Star Wars The Old Republic, we got Rift, we got World of Warcraft. A lot of World of Warcraft references just because I played the game for a long time. So, I'm very versed with that game, so I feel very comfortable talking about it. That is why I make all the references, by the way. Anyways, so look at that game. You get to max level. You could say you are the champion of World of Warcraft. You know every single ability in the game, even for your class, what the utility prospects of that ability can be, and basically everything. Okay, you just hit max level. You have all green items. If you know what that means pretty common level items. Basically, items that you get from questing. Alright, but you are the most skilled person in the game. And then you have Joe Schmo over here that has no skill whatsoever. He literally face rolls his keyboard. He rolls his face to the left, and then to the right, and to the left, and to the right. Okay, Joe over here has the best gear in the game. All heroics, legendary if he can get it. Just everything. He got carried like a champion. He died in the first 5 seconds of the game, but people still give him gear and still bring him back. You know, that's what he is. Okay, you guys go against a boss that you just have to stand there. Alright, so Joe over here starts face rolling his keyboard. Face rolling the keyboard. And then you're like, oh my gosh, dodging abilities, going over, going crazy. And he's white hitting and he's beating you because you have no gear whatsoever. And you're like, this sucks. Like, I'm so much better than this guy, but he's beating me because he's got all the gear. That is basically every MMO in a nutshell. And that is basically what I'm saying is you can't do anything unless you have all the gear. Or not all the gear, but a lot of it. You need to work on your gear, grind, treadmill. Woo! Love it. I'm just kidding. I actually don't like that as much. I used to love it a lot more than I do now. I'm just kind of getting a little bit tired of it. But I think a lot of people are so used to that and their mindset is so kind of set on that's what the game is about that they're not really taking into consideration what kind of game Guild Wars 2 is. Okay, Guild Wars 2 is a skill-based game. So what that really means is that gear isn't a big deal in that game. Literally, you can get to max level and get... Well, okay, I haven't seen it. Obviously, the game isn't out yet, but if you look at Guild Wars 1, you could basically buy, straight off, you just hit level 20, which was the level cap in that game. Level 20, you could buy the best gear in that game. If you look at the the stats on the gear, wow, statistical business of the gear, they can basically get the best gear once they reach the max level within the first day. So, and they are basically doing the exact same thing with Guild Wars 2. The only problem is that, I mean, they're also doing a whole bunch of other things, but it is still that skill based thing. And the thing is, if people go into the MMO and Guild Wars 2 with that kind of mindset, that mentality, and they're expecting that kind of gear grind, they're going to get disappointed. That's one thing that are definitely going to get disappointed with, which I hope that ArenaNet does. Like, I mean, they said it a lot of times that this game is skill based, not gear based. And if you look at the coverage that a bunch of press members did, they basically said that gear is nothing, not a big thing. It's all about skill and stuff like that. The only problem is people don't take into consideration what their skill level actually is if you take away their gear. So Joe, the epically geared fail or nub, you could say, he is carried by a lot of his gear because that most of his some of his lack of skill. Granted, I did say I was pretty ridiculous because I said he could facial his keyboard, but he's basically making up for his lack of skill by his gear. The only thing is, I think that Guild Wars 2 is going to have a little bit less of a finer line from skill than gear. Like, I feel like a little bit in a lot of the gear-based MMOs, it is half, basically, you get carried by your gear, and then half of your skill. So it's basically, I feel like it's a little bit 50-50, because you can actually stand a little bit of the fire and go, oh, shiny, 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 hot, 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 bad, basically, but you can still make up for it. And obviously, I mean, no one's perfect, so I don't think Guild Wars 2 is going to say that you have to have every fight perfect, that and then be completely excellent at your class and total skilled player. I'm just saying the skill level probably will be a lot higher than a lot of people are anticipating, which might piss people off and might bother people, because they are used to that gear-based MMO that they are made up, their lack of skill is made up by the gear that they have. And so granted, the gear is going to help you a lot in this game. However, it is still going to be, you're not going to be able to go into the explorer mode dungeons, which is like the heroic mode dungeons that they have, with a lower, like, if your skill ceiling, you could say, if you're just not at the skill that is needed to actually go through that content, you won't be able to pass it, and getting a different sword or a different weapon set won't help, really, honestly. And you probably, the only way you could go through that is if you get another couple people that might be able to, granted, carry you, if you look at it that way. But I still think that, I mean, that is why I think Guild Wars 2 might get a little bit of a bad rap around it, because people might be thinking about this game and putting it in, like, the World of Warcraft kind of point. And, if people didn't play Guild Wars 1 and realize that it is a lot more skill-based. Like, I didn't play Guild Wars 1, but I'm really excited for Guild Wars 2, and I'm ready for that challenge, because I felt like I'm really, really not challenged right now with the games that are out there, and especially in like raid content and WoW and stuff like that. And I'm really excited for a greater challenge and a totally different kind of mindset about it. So I feel like some people might rage because their skill level just isn't as great, so they can't get through the explorer mode dungeon, or they might get a little annoyed because they get the best gear in the game, and if that's the only reason why they want to go, play this game, they're going to get really bored and go, wait, I'm done. Like, and honestly, if Guild Wars 2, if the developers, if someone plays it to max level, gets all the best gear, and quits playing it, they really don't care all that much. Because one, they are going to get, money from microtransactions, but I don't think they're really going to rely on that. They did, basically, Guild Wars 2, you pay for it, and then you're done. You don't have to, no sub fee, no nothing else. You can, just buy the game, and you're good, and you don't have to pay another cent. They already got your business from that. And then, so, if you are, totally bored with the game after you get to level 80 and you got the best gear, and if that's the only reason why you wanted to play it, then, and you'll get pissed, and you get annoyed. What if you get the collector's edition? You just dropped $150 on the game, you got all this cool stuff with it, and I do think it's still a good deal as far as collector's editions go. I personally didn't buy it because I just don't feel like I should, spend that much on a game, and on top of that, I'm not a big statue guy. I just, Ritlock, I'm sorry, dude. You're cool and everything, but I'll see you in game. And that's good enough for me, honestly. And a bunch of concept art, but I really do think it's a good deal, but, by the way, for it. So if you do want to pre-purchase that, I still think it's a good deal if you want to take my word for it, which don't. Just make your own choice. But I really think that people might love this game or might hate this game. The only thing is, yeah, seriously, like I don't think Guild Wars 2 really cares all that much if you continue playing it after you're a little bit. I mean, you buy the game, that's their biggest profit right there. I mean, a lot of people are going to do microtransactions and they're going to be able to maintain their servers a lot easier with that. But if people continue to buy this game, I still think it's going to be definitely very excellent. So really what it boils down to is that if people's expectations and if people's, you could say, motivations in the game aren't where they should be, then they're not going to enjoy this game as much as they would other games. So that is basically what I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like it if you liked it. Go ahead, comment if you want anything to say. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, sweet. I'm always down for more subscribers. And I hope you guys keep it classy, and I will see you guys later.